Last night, my bulldog Winnie was hit by a car, and luckily she is alive today, but here is the update. For backstory, here's what happened. So I was the last person that we knew went to our house, so it had to have been my fault. And I am very upset at myself over that. But our back door was found open at around 8 o'clock last night. So I noticed my parents came over for dinner. We were in the shop, which is behind our house, and there's only one exit from our property. And so she could have come back to the shop or she could have gone to the road. And so when my parents came, Kimmy, my other dog, Kimmy, she didn't come up to them. I don't think that they had left the house by that point, or they were across the street together. Because when my husband pulled up at 8:30, an hour later, Kimmy, my dachshund, frantically ran up to him and seemed so scared and was clawing up his leg. And so he busted in the door, was like, "Why is Kimmy out here?" And I thought that they were at the house because my mom was bringing her puppy over and we were just leaving them at the house for the evening. And so I was like, "What the heck?" And immediately it was like, "Where's Winnie?" And so immediately we grabbed flashlights. It was dark, it was raining. We started on foot, just calling around the property. Our entire property is fenced in except for the exit, right? And so we were calling, we started calling our neighbors, asking them if they saw her. And then we decided, hey, in case she is in someone's yard, in case she is on the road, we have thermals, let's go look. And so my parents went across the street to the farm because they were like, if she's over there, we'll go look there. Me, Jonathan, and Jonathan's brother, Austin, focused on the road in case she was in someone's yard. We searched for a long time. And then finally my dad called that they found her in the front pasture. Mind you, the grass is really tall in the front pasture, so that's why it was hard to find her. What we think happened, in whatever time span that she was outside, that she was hit on her left side. And when she was hit, they had to have just grazed her, or she wouldn't be alive and in the shape that she's in right now. They must have just grazed her, but she was thrown downward into the asphalt, and then she tumbled down the hill because our property, the road drops off and then into our property. And so she had tumbled down the hill and then was laying in the pasture just inside the fence. We hurried to get the car. I got towels. We laid my back seats down. I got in the back seat with her, was holding her. She wasn't really responsive. She was breathing, and it was kind of labored breathing. But for the first 20 minutes of the drive, because we took her to an emergency hospital in Franklin, she wasn't really responding. She was just breathing. Her tongue was hanging out. She would maybe groan when he took a sharp turn, things like that. I was trying to stabilize her. I started laying down with her, and then she started finally, probably 10 minutes out from the hospital, I was talking to her, and she finally started licking me and stuff, just a little bit, but barely moving. So when we got her there, they immediately took her in because she was in critical care. She had a huge laceration on her left side. They told me from immediate looking at it, it looked like she had been degloved. So it's the skin had been ripped away from her muscle and peeled back essentially. And so that, and then she had blood coming out of her mouth and her nose. Her entire left side was bloody. She did take a few steps for them, which, she wasn't paralyzed, thank goodness. Basically, when I left her last night, they said, she's probably got quite a bit of lung, either fluid buildup or bruising. She had a little bit of free fluid in her abdomen. She had this wound on her left side that they weren't even going to attempt to do anything with until they got her more stable. And then basically at whatever point they got her stable, they put her in an oxygen kennel. They put her on tons of pain meds just to get her to where she could chill. But they didn't end up taking any imaging, doing any type of x-ray or anything like that until today at 10 a.m. So I was hounding them all morning for an update, and they didn't really have anything for me other than she was alive and on pain meds and all that good stuff. And so I haven't really gotten an update until this afternoon. So when they did the x-rays, I don't know how, she has no breaks, no fractures they can see. The laceration on her side was a bit of a puncture and it created a pocket. So they put drains in, stitched her up, cleaned her up. Really, the thing that we're not out of the woods with yet and that we are waiting to see how she does over the next 36 hours, because right now we're barely at the 22-hour mark, is her lungs. So there was severe bruising, pulmonary contusions in her lungs. Now, they have her on antibiotics in case of pneumonia and because of the laceration on her side, but there's not really like a huge worry about pneumonia. It's more so allowing those bruises to heal. So that's why they have her in the oxygenated kennel. They have her on pain meds, just like allowing her to have like less labored breathing and like to be able to let those lungs heal. So they had to put her under anesthesia to do all of that, like wound care and imaging and things like that. So basically, from what I've gathered, what our biggest hurdle is her lungs. And so I would like to say, oh my gosh, yay, but I just still am not allowing myself to feel safe and to feel like she's coming home. I'm still very like guarded in that respect because I know how fast things can like tank. So for right now, she's, for lack of better words, doped up and sleeping in her kennel, and they're just allowing her to rest and allowing her to hopefully recover as fast as possible. The laceration on her side can be 1000% taken care of at home. She's got drainage tubes, all that good stuff. We can handle that. But our main thing is her breathing being comfortable and easy before she comes home. So I think she's going to be there at least 2 more days. Like, that's the least amount that she will be there. If any complications arise, she will be there longer. So, yeah, I'm so thankful for all the prayers. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of speaking goodness into existence. And so thank you so much for all of your prayers, all of your thoughts, all of your good vibes being sent Winnie's way. You know, I feel that I portray myself a little bit more put together about the livestock when tragedies happen, and like, you know, I feel a little bit like I can handle that better, but like my dogs are my children and I don't really post about them a lot, but like they are my babies. And so I absolutely lost it last night. I don't know that I've ever been that scared, and I've been through a lot of loss, and I just don't know that I've ever been that scared about an animal. So thank you so much for your prayers and continued prayers, and I will give y'all updates. But honestly, right now, no news is good news. So I'm not going to probably get another update until like tomorrow at some point. I don't even know when. But thank you so much for all of y'all's prayers and good vibes sent Winnie's way, because she's in very good hands, and all we can do now is hope that she responds well and gets better.